very quick update for the morning on the Big Brother 25 feeds because there's not a whole lot to update on. And if anybody has watched my videos this season, they would know that feeds without Izzy were gonna be rough. And I say this not as somebody that was a big fan of Izzy, I say this as a fact. With Izzy gone, the energy in the house is so low that it makes for a very rough, boring watch. It's like there's 11 Bowies left in the game and you're just watching paint dry, in my opinion. It doesn't help that unless you are a weird fan of Jared and Blue, who are on feeds a third of the time, being with their toxic relationship, or unless you are an even weirder fan of Corey and America, who are on with their terrible kissing and their terrible kissing noises. And terrible kissing is not my words, that's America's words. Or unless you are somehow even a weirder fan of Jag, who's just a stupid idiot. And he's the other third of the feeds, just constantly talking in circles, talking about the same things over and over. I'm so sick of hearing that man talk. Aren't you all glad that you let the loudest voices this season be from Showman's fans? Because that is now what we're going to get. Like literally 75% of the time, the feeds are on one of the showmances, and I am really tired of watching Corey and America's high school level kissing. It's just cringy and awkward, and then their clothes were dirty all week because they didn't have access to the washer and dryer, and Corey is still grinding up on America in his crusty, dirty underwear. Just disgusting. Jag was good for something, though, other than just being stupid and talking in circles. He did win the power of veto, and likely one of America or Corey will be coming off the block, unfortunately, for me, because that does mean that Cameron is likely going home, and we lose one of our two villains that's left this season. I mean, there's villains left in the game, in my opinion, but they're not watchable to me, and they don't embrace their villainy. Although America tries, America would be so much more likable to me if she didn't have those insane stands. It is true, because I like that when she embraces her flirty gameplay. I don't hate flirty gameplay. I think it is a very viable option for some women in this game, and it works. I also like that she's fighting for herself to get off the block, and because I do think, low-key, she is using Corey in this game, and that is very villainy. And she's done some villainy shit this season that I've hated on. And some of that shit should be hated on because of the double standard, like I talk about. If this was a man in America's shoes, that Twitter would be canceling her a long-ass time ago. But since it's a woman and it's America, they're not doing so. In fact, they act like America can do no wrong. So if she didn't have these delusional stands, I could actually get behind America's villainous gameplay. I like that she was fighting for herself to get off the block instead of Corey. Corey, of course, was fighting for his own self as well. We'll see what Jag would do. I feel like Jag has made some promises to Corey, but Jag also has a way closer relationship with America. Either one that stays on the block, I'm sure Cam will have some stuff to say. Cam will have more to say if America's up on the block, because America spilled so much information to Cam. Now, America did admit to doing that to Jag and Corey last night, and Matt, of course. Matt's the only one that I think continues to, out of that group anyway, play the best game. Jag is just so lost. Jag is the Gen Zer I've talked about a lot this season. In a generation that is obsessed with labels and obsessed with identities. Jag has no identity. Jag has needed people to grab his little hand and walk him through this game because he always needs somebody to lead him. It's honestly so annoyingly pathetic that I wish Jag would have never been saved, because I've gone from, yeah, Jag's a good guy, but there's plenty of good people out there. But watching Jag play this game has been a very tough process, because it is not fun to watch, and he has dropped so low on my, not just like game rankings, I just don't like him. I don't like him, I'm sorry. He's a good guy, but he is so bad at this game, And the whole bringing up people are bullying me because they're lying to me was the straw that broke the camel's back for me and Jag. I am sick of watching Jag now. I'm so over him, it's not even funny. But Matt at least continues to play, like I talked about last week, his game of having these individual relationships. And he's good with almost everybody in the house. And the only people that are now pointing out that they can't sit next to Matt is Jared and Suri. So people are thinking about that Matt can't make this end game. But they're not going to be able to take him out anytime soon, in my opinion. There was a point when Jared was considering actually putting Matt on the block this week. But I don't think Jared has actually realized that getting rid of the house target in Cameron is so bad for his game. It's very stupid of Jared, but I don't think Jared realizes that he is the next house target in line. There is a lot of male egos in this game going on. Jared and Cameron have two of them. Corey's the other one, and Corey can very well become an easy house target once Cameron and Jared are gone, because his ego can be so big and he talks a lot of shit about everybody being dumb when he has made some pretty dumb moves in this game, and that's why he's on the block this week. And if he stays on the block, there's always that slight possibility that he gets voted out. I don't see it happening this week because everybody wants Cam out so badly, even though he can be used as a tool, but nobody wants to take that chance. I mean, it's always good to get somebody out that's winning a lot of comps. But if Jared and Jag would actually think, they're the only other people winning comps, and then they're going to be a house target sooner rather than later. But you're not getting a lot of thinking this season. Now are ya? Of course, yesterday, Suri, there was this 3-minute conversation where Suri talked about how maybe Jared should put her up because they can try and fix Jared's game. And of course, that sent social media in a tizzy. It was so stupid. Social media is just a bunch of sheep, I tell you, because they want to just all follow the same fake outrage. Every single time, it's just fake outrage. This was a 3-minute conversation, and Jared was never going to do it. It was pretty clear from Jared that he was never going to do it. But they all want to talk about, oh my God, Suri's such a terrible person for wanting to quit. She took another person's spot, even though she was the 17th house guest. And there was only going to be 16 house guests without her. And of course, you see YouTubers making videos right away to get views because that's all that everybody in this fan base wants to do is outrage. And the funniest thing to me is if Suri doesn't like this game, and I don't think she does like this game, the gag is, and the thing that nobody will actually talk about and get real with, but I will because I don't really give a shit, the fans don't like this game. You all don't like this game. What are you talking about? This entire season has been every day somebody being negative about one of the players and wanting them canceled, wanting them out of the house, wanting them kicked out of the house. Every single day, it's been an issue for this fan base that they want to kick somebody out of the house. They hate what somebody says. They pick apart everything they say instead of just sitting and enjoying the messy gameplay, laughing at the shit talking. I tried to do this most of the season until the stands pissed me off and I started to hate America and Corey because of that. But you don't like this game. We all don't like this game. So I don't think you should be judging Suri for not liking this game because it's a fact. Y'all put so much toxic negative energy into this game, it's not even funny. So you can't blame Suri, who's living it, for not liking it, because y'all also don't like it, just sitting there on your asses watching it, okay? Anyway, the only other person, and I talked about this in my last video, that's actually playing a good game this week, other than Matt, is Blue. I enjoy that she's also trying to play a game similar to Matt. She's even talked to Matt about it, so she does actually know what she's doing, that she's trying to play this middle that's now forming. You know, Corey in America tried to play a middle this entire game when there wasn't a middle, and then Corey voted out one of his closest allies and kept a person in the house that wants to just put him back on the block as soon as possible, and Felicia, and everybody wants to, well, not everybody, but there's a certain subset of this fan base that thinks game bots and everything that game bots do is the bee's knees, and they think that Corey's move was just so great. And sure, you could say that Corey helped, turn the house on somebody and vote them out of the house, which would be a good thing if A, it wasn't one of his closest allies and it was pre-jury, and B, he didn't wind up on the block the very next week like an idiot. And if somebody other than Jake, himself, or America would have won the veto this week, he could have been sitting on the block next to America with a chance of going home. It was not a good move by Corey. That's why he's sitting on the block right now. And that's why he's the face of the new alliance that has formed. And he's going to be... He grew his target. That's all he did. He said he wanted to do this because he thought he was only going to get like to 7th or 8th place. And it's not any different right now because he grew his target. So save it. But Blue, I do like the game I'm seeing from Blue. She's playing a very similar game of trying to make these individual bonds now that Matt's doing it. Matt's has a head start on her, though, and I think is going to be able to keep up with that more than Blue can. But I do like that Blue is actually playing that. And then there's Felicia and Mimi, who I think all they need to do for the next couple of weeks is hope that, you know, the bigger targets keep shooting at each other, and they're just kind of there. I think it will be easier for Mimi to do that because she's been playing this low-key game the whole time. Whereas Felicia, I think, would love to make another move in this game, and then that will just grow her target again. But it's not necessarily a bad thing either for Felicia if, you know, she wants to pull up and make another move, as long as it's the right move for her. That's about all I have in my notes. I think that Cameron should easily be going home this week, sitting next to either Corey or America. There's always that possibility, but I don't know that, you know, without Izzy flipping some things around all the time because she's so messy, I don't know if we're going to get as much mess in this vote as I would like to see. Cam can do a lot of throwing America under the bus if he's sitting next to America. And if Corey's on the block, he is a big target. There will be discussions about Corey possibly going this week, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to actually vote somebody out over Cameron.